So this video is going to touch on a few different things. Now, I'm just grabbing your attention with this picture of the Antichrist, or that's what people have been calling the Antichrist. But this is Deontay Kyle, and I've been seeing people drop his name here and there because I am anti-religious. I'm anti-church. I think that church is a pimpocracy. I think it is pimping women because it is typically women that make up the church. The women got to go out, go to work and then bring back that money to the pimp passer. So y'all know I'm already going to talk about the church, but Deontay Kyle came on the internet and said Jesus is the middleman to get into God. And he said, why aren't y'all pressed about or talking about the blood that was spilled from our ancestors who actually built this country? Y'all talk so much about the blood that you drink on Sunday mornings, but what about the blood that was actually spilt here? Because this country was built on the blood, the bones, and the bodies of the Africans that were shipped from the West, the Western countries of Africa. We just got dropped off at different points. So he's sitting up here talking about this, and people were clutching at their pearls like, how dare you? How dare you, Antichrist? So we're going to look at the videos from Deontay Kyle. We do need to circle back to this. This is why I came on today. I was grabbing your attention with the Antichrist Deontay Kyle, but we needed to come back and talk about this situation with Marvin Winans and Miss Roberta McCoy, because this situation went viral. And people were like, she's going to come back. She's going to come back and do an interview defending Pastor Marvin Winans. And she absolutely did. She did. And so they're being interviewed. So here is an article coming out of Detroit. Bishop Winans clarifies viral video showing church member during donation event. Bishop Marvin Winans and congregation member Roberta McCoy both say viral social media video misrepresented Sunday's fundraising event at Perfecting Church. A viral social media video has sparked widespread misunderstanding about an incident at a Detroit church's fundraising event, prompting both the pastor and the congregation member involved to speak out. Bishop Marvin Winans of Perfecting Church hosted a day of giving on Sunday, asking members to donate $1,000 and raise another $1,000 to help finish the new sanctuary in Detroit and support community programs. Winans asked those giving $2,000 or more to come to the front first, with the others following from the largest donations to as little as $1.62. However, congregation member Roberta McCoy went viral after someone posted a video of her coming to the front with less than $2,000, claiming she was rebuked by Pastor Winans. McCoy says she has been attacked online since the video began spreading. He absolutely did not rebuke me. Now, there's a difference. There was a correction, because let me clearly state that the pastor gave instructions on the lines to get into, McCoy said. Winans explained his actions during the event were meant to maintain order and ensure elderly members wouldn't have to stand for extended periods. I was calling because the whole church was giving, and it was our day of giving, and the whole church was coming, and we didn't want people standing, the mothers and all that. So I was calling them by increments, and we had someone that had given out of order before, and I corrected it, and I told everybody to listen and to come when you call, and that's all that was. Them coming forward to do this interview and set the record straight still doesn't do anything as far as I'm concerned, as far as my opinion on this. If you look at this picture, you see how many elderly people are in the congregation. And we know historically that the church is made up of mostly women. So these women are bringing thousands of dollars a year to these churches and just taking. And it's going to get to the point where, like, how are we balancing this? The reason why the Black community, in my opinion, can't really move forward, in my opinion, is that we give so much to these churches when they could be paying off their houses, paying for education. These women, because it is typically women, are the ones that are volunteering, using their time, energy, and resources in the church. And it is usually women. And so when we say things about the Black community, and I am talking to the Black community, and I know that it's not just the Black community, but right now this is the Black church, where we're talking about the women being unhealthy and, they need to exercise, blah, blah, blah. Well, how much time do they spend in church? How much money are they giving to the church? Do they have extra money to give, to pour into themselves? And they're doing so much volunteering when they could be doing that for themselves. So this is older because these churches are hemorrhaging women. They're hemorrhaging women and children, because if the younger women, like my generation and younger, decide to keep their children out of church, which I am, that means that this is going to eventually crumble, because we have seen news articles that said that men are joining the church. But men are not typically the ones that are doing the volunteering, the cooking, the cleanups, and all of that. They're not. So it is going to be interesting to watch. But yet and still, we are in a crisis right now where Black women are losing their jobs at unprecedented levels. We have double the unemployment rate with Black women. Soon as Donald Trump came in, he started cutting the federal jobs, which impacted us because a lot of Black women have these federal jobs. And then on top of that, we got tariffs. We have the holidays coming up. We have social safety nets being pulled. So these women go to church, they give all this money, but what is going to happen to these communities once all of these social safety nets fall through? So we have that. So we heard them talk about, what really happened. Now I'm going to play a video. I'm going to play a video of this woman talking about some of these churches are really going to be in a pickle. They're going to be in a pickle because the communities are going to be hurting. And so if some of these churches don't have food pantries set up, that don't have, out for real outreach where they're giving to the needy or whatnot, they probably should close, because and if they do close, if they start hemorrhaging members, will they actually get any of these members back once the economy bounces back? Because a lot of people did leave churches after COVID and never returned. So right now is going to be critical mass, or a critical juncture in the church and the community and all of that, with social safety nets being cut, with SNAP being cut. So I'm going to play that woman's video, and then I'm going to play the video of Deontay Kyle, where, he was talking about the blood of Jesus or the blood of your ancestors that actually built this country. And why are we downplaying the blood of our ancestors, whose bodies, blood and tears and all of that, bones, built this country? Because we did. So why are y'all propping up the blood of Jesus when the blood of our ancestors are the ones that actually built this country? So those are the videos that you are about to see next.
Yo, this shutdown might shut down a whole bunch of churches with it. No joke. I follow a creator, her name is Ashley, right? And she said, hey, if you go to a church that does not have a food bank set up, should people not get their EPT benefits November 1st, you need to leave that church. You need to leave that church. Flip video. There was another woman that said the exact same thing. She said, you need to leave that church because obviously they're not using the money that you're giving them for the purposes in which it was intended. Flip through a couple more videos. Man said the same thing. A man said the same thing. Look, listen, and it's true. If you're giving your money to a church and now's the time to stand on business and provide in the way of Jesus and God, and they don't, you need to leave the church. And I think that people are going to leave the church, whether they are a member of that congregation or whether they are someone in the community that needs assistance now more than ever. And they will never return to religion. Never. Never. I would really, really like to know the numbers of people who consider themselves to be Christians now, October 21st, 2025, to how many people after Trump's administration consider themselves to be Christians. I really want to watch it. Somebody hold those numbers, please.
Jesus is standing in the way of the power of your gratitude really being fulfilled, right? You are misplacing your gratitude. You give all of the gratitude to the blood of Jesus and his sacrifice, but our ancestors spilled their blood, sacrificed their life, sacrificed their pride, sacrificed their dignity, and endured not only for our sake, but for the sake of your children. They had us in mind, right? And they don't get any acknowledgement. You don't acknowledge your own blood that was sacrificed. You acknowledge the sacrifice of this man. They called on him. He didn't show up. He gets all the glory. You should be glorifying your ancestors. It's literally your blood. It's in your genetic code. You might wake something up because you'll not only be glorifying yourself, you'll be glorifying the people who are the reason you're here in the first place. And I think that's one of the issues that we don't talk about as it pertains to Christianity. We get into a lot of the bag of whether he exists or not. He exists, he doesn't. Yeshua, whatever. He's acknowledged as a prophet. I respect that, right? He's in Islam, he's acknowledged as a prophet. But the overarching image of Jesus in the Christian religion is of him on the cross, the sacrifice he made, the blood he shed. Huh? But what about the blood that our ancestors shed here on this land for us? For this country? Inventing in spite of, building cities, operating in the free market. Huh? The free market was good until it was a thriving black community. Then they interrupted it. They was all about the free market until that happened. Shout out to Deja Sade for that. The blood you should be praising is literally coursing through your veins. It was the blood, huh? You taking a shot of it every month, once a month. When the last time you venerated your ancestors? When the last time you acknowledged their presence or the sacrifice that they made just to have you here? You might wake something up. That's real DNA. It's blood spilled out here right now that got your DNA in it. And we don't acknowledge it. We allow, so niggas call him a middleman to God. So I got to get Jesus out the way to get to God, right? That's what they say, right? They call him a middleman, right? That's some of the issue that people have. They feel like Jesus stands in the way of God. Why I got to talk to you? I could just go straight to the source. You could go straight to the source. The source is in you already. It's been in you your whole life. So if we want to get into a middleman conversation, you just go inward.
What she said? She called it the Chicken and Grits podcast?
Yeah. This is the Antichrist, Deontay Kyle, host of the Chicken and Grits podcast, reporting live for you. We're about to record episode 94. I'm here with my faithful demon. Yeah, so, this is not a Halloween costume. Somebody visited me in my sleep last night. Told me to put this on today. Apparently I've sold my soul for a podcast. But that's the common theme with y'all when black people have success. And they talk the way you want them to talk, or they say the things you agree with. You'll say I'm God given, and I'm a breath of fresh air. And as soon as I say something you don't agree with, or you feel like I'm getting a little too much success and notoriety, I sold my soul and I'm the Antichrist. So here it is, guys. Antichrist Deontay Kyle from Chicken and Grits podcast, reporting live.